Con chi la mariterebbe Madame Adoré, con chi la mariterebbe.
Primary school, okay.
Spazzacamino Madame Adoré, con uno spazzacamino. E come la vestirebbe Madame Adoré, e come la vestirebbe.
Again, if you know what they're saying, would you mind putting in the comments? Curious to hear, curious to know.
Uscite dal mio castello Madame Adoré, uscite dal mio castello.
Sounds upbeat, for what it's worth. Oh dear, that's fading away, that's never a good sign. Oh my god, they're prison cells, aren't they? I just clocked into that. Oh my god. Wow.
My schoolmates, when the light's there.
Huh. So this is what she did when she was in school. Oh, that must have been her school. Right. I would imagine.
Renee's kind to Don Gino, but he always frightens me.
I want to see what these say.
A cat goes into my mouth and eats me from inside. At least you can't see what's happening.
But from that, for what it's worth, yeah, I can see why that would be a good thing. We've just gone in bloody circles, haven't we? Okay.
Don Gino knows everything. He speaks to God and he tells him lots of things.
Essentially. He's a cardinal after all. Be a bit surprised if he didn't.
We learn so many things at school, and so we have to attend. How would we get on if we didn't?
True to a certain extent.
I do a lot of bad things. I don't tell anyone, but Mom knows just the same.
I'll go back there. I don't want to lose track too much where we are. Well, I'll try and find all the pictures. Okay, oh, right. Right. Oh my god, this is one of those mazes. Oh, great. Oh, there's one.
Mr. Onofrio is very kind and helps us. If he's not here, I have good reason to be afraid.
Okay. Yes, I really don't want to get lost in here. I know it probably wouldn't matter. I wonder if it's one of those scenarios where you have to find them all to actually progress. If that's the case, it wouldn't be such a bad thing. That looks like it's just going absolutely nowhere, so let's check over here. Up.
A blackbird's eating my head. That's why it hurts so much.
Well, that's right. That's an interesting theory. Well, let's continue on. I know I probably haven't found them all, but not overly fussed.
I'm not like the others, Mom. Why not?
Oh, wow. The self-imposed insanity. Oof. That's a really ugly one, that is. Oh, God, that got to be that noise did.
My baby Charlotte is so beautiful, and she's so good. But Renee isn't.
Oh, wow.
There are a lot of them. They want to hurt me. They fly. Even Charlotte can't help me.
Do this one first. Oh, I thought so.
When I was little, I never used to sleep. Poor Mom.
Okay. Go through this one. I imagine there'll be one at the end here. Oh, typical, yeah, of course there'll be the double. Oh.
Mr. Onofrio helps Mom. How would we manage if he didn't?
Okay.
When I was small, I never used to eat. Poor mother.
3 more to go. Okay. Looks like we need to find them all to progress, which is fine. I'm not bothered. Did I go through this one? Just double check something. Oh, so you don't remember. Probably have. Yeah, we have. God, that deafening creepiness is almost taking its toll. Go up here. I'm going to cycle back around. I assume there's one. Oh crap. I don't even know what's going on right now. I'm just gonna wait, because
What's happened? What is this place?
we did our best.
Maybe I'm dead.
Not yet.
I can't see any light. Maybe I am dead. I can't get up. What's going on? What's happening to me?
14 out of
There's
17 is
no
not
one
bad.
here. But these noises.
Yep, that's deafening alright.
God, my head is killing me.
Can understand why.
I can't keep my eyes open.
Well, we got I said we got 14 out of 17. I probably could have gotten if I kept on and not going around the corner so much, but you know what? Like I said, I got 14 out of 17. That's not that bad. Seeing all those places look like they span 25 different ways. So, don't think it was too bad, to be quite honest. Oh, what's happening now? Whoa! Sounds, my god! Okay, that would be both horrific and utterly terrifying at the same time. With the added deafness of complete unknown. Not knowing what's going on. My god. Whoa! What the hell? What the hell's going on here? There's no one around there. What? Oh dear. That's not a good sign. Absolutely not a good sign. Although we could be completely out of our depth, so... Still can't see a damn thing. Well, that helps, doesn't it? Unless we're just not looking far enough, that is quite possible. Okay. Wait, are we being taken for some form of operation? Oh, that sound usually means something's about to happen. Never a good thing. Oh my god, faster and bloody faster. Are you kidding me? Close your eyes, Renee. Holy crap.
My medical file again. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anymore. There's only confusion. There were some who had scarcely seen me. They thought they knew me and understood what was happening to me and could decide about my life.
Damn. Okay. Wow, so we're in that segment where it's just chaos. Nothing in there, fair enough. I really don't know where we're supposed to go over this way. Haven't got a clue. Interesting. Oh, I see what's going on. Need to go through this way. That makes a lot more sense. This looks like because this is near the World War II, if not in the middle of it, I think. So, if I recall, so if that was after all those years, this would be the aftermath of World War II. Oh my God! So this place was bombed, was it? Wow! If that's the case, then holy shit! So what? Saying possibly everyone died, or not everyone made it. That's something to really think about, isn't it? Holy crap. Okay. So... oh, maybe we need one. Oh, let's just try this one for the sake of argument.
Once more, I feel like I'm on the edge of an abyss. What a horrible feeling. My paranoia is hammering at the gates. Everything is exploding, and in the end, I know they will enter and destroy me in a matter of seconds. I won't be here for much longer, but in my personal hell, consumed by fear, which will be directed violently outwards. When you're not well, I mean, in your head, when you're crazy, I mean, what else am I? Well, that's that. I can't speak or move anymore. I find it hard to swallow. I can't eat. Then it passes, I feel better, like now perhaps. Then the anxiety returns and I can't sleep. I can't stop the intrusive thoughts, one after the other, relentlessly. I suffer from memory lapses. Yes, there are periods I don't remember anything about, and I don't know what it means. It first started when I was with my fiancé, and Bruna was there. They said I did certain things, you know. I'm too embarrassed to talk about them. But I think that's the reason I'm here, isn't it? But I don't do any of those things now, do I? Please tell me. And, send me home. I'm sure I'm okay, and I so want to go home.
I'm sure she does.
She comes to visit me. Why? Do you know?
Okay, so... I was gonna play the other one, but we can't, so never mind. It's alright. Okay. Weird. Alright.
August 28th, 1942. We hereby notify you of the death of Ada T., mother of Renee T., a patient in your institution. No known relative. Sincerely yours, Onofrio P.
Well, at least they finally found out. Now, how long will it...
I have no one left in the world. Nobody at all. Solitude is very strange. It muffles everything, slows it down. It's an endless scream that makes no sound. A silent scream. I can't stop looking at myself. I will never leave this place. There is nobody up there for me. These walls have become my skin, and the wretched desperation within them is my soul without a voice. Here, nobody weeps anymore. I would love to feel life, desperation, anger. I've stopped dreaming, daydreaming, maybe even thinking. I've lived in a reality which has corroded me and has stripped me of everything. Even my ability to feel pain.
Wow. That's pretty confronting. In all manner of ways. Yeah, I think this was the end of World War II. Wow. We're not going that way, okay. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, of course, yeah, the stairs. Team back here, right. Just have a look. I mean, look at all the stuff it's like this place was kind of abandoned in a rush almost. Like they were trying to pack up and just like get the hell out of here, otherwise the place is gonna be taken out. Let's check over these seats.
May 5th, 1943. Renee's state of health is good. She is eating and speaking. Her spatial and temporal orientation is good. Therapy suspended. December 3rd. She calmly asks if she can leave the hospital. Evaluate patient for 6 months. May 2nd, 1944. Discharge denied despite a favorable psychiatric opinion. The patient has no home or means of support.
That's the only most legitimate answer they can give. I mean, if someone doesn't have the ability to care for themselves on their support, they won't release them for the institutions. That was really normal back then. Sometimes I think still normal today, although I do have care support, but you get my point there. I just assume I'm going the right way here. Oh, here we are.
May 4th. The reasons why discharge is impossible are explained, and this is how Renee learns of her mother's death 2 years after the fact.
Wow. Well, I suppose it's better late than never, as they say. I'm not saying it's good, but... Oh, you are joking.
May 5th. She tried to kill herself in the night by hanging herself with a sheet, saved by the nurses.
Wow. Okay. Of course, tied to the bed.
Restrained to her bed, she once more tried to kill herself by suffocation. The decision has been taken to perform a transorbital lobotomy.
I'm pretty sure that's quite extreme procedure, quite an extreme measure to take. I can't remember what the hell that is, to be honest, but fortunately I think we'll find out either way, won't we? Oh, so we've got to do this, don't we? The end. Okay. So is this... Wow. The use of lobotomy spread rapidly in Italy compared to other European countries and in America. The original technique pioneered by Moniz was perfected in 1937 by Famigliati, who was conceived the first lobotomy. The operation involved gaining access to the frontal lobes of the brain by sawing through the orbital bone above the eyelids, then damaging the lobes by means of an alcohol or formaldehyde injection. Using a special instrument. Okay. Contrary to what is often thought, the patients did not always receive invalidating damage, although it was often the case. Moniz was awarded the Nobel Prize for Medicine in 1949. This therapy gradually, yeah, you can pause and read that. Basically gained acclaim for something that was actually really, really terrible pill. Which is no excuse. Are we actually going to see the procedure? I've heard of the procedure, and I think it's been explained to me, but I just don't actually remember, you know? I mean, I know it gets explained, but seeing it is something totally different if we do. That would be, the fact that these sort of things were actually done, they just show how truly brutal the methods were and the extremes they were willing to go to you know, deal with this sort of thing. Oh, you're kidding me? We're gonna see this? Brace yourself for those who don't like the cringeworthy stuff. Oh my god, we are going to see this, aren't we? Oh my god. Are you serious? Just punch in there, aren't you, you bastard? Oh my god, and she's awake? What? Holy shit. Oh, no way. You see the tears? Oh, that's how you get access to the brain. You are kidding me. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, just rip through her brain, why don't you, you asshole? Oh my god. You see the tears? I don't blame. That's just, oh, that's excruciating. Oh, that's awful. That's utterly bloody horrific. Just move it around and just go, shoves
10th of
it.
June, 1944.
Jesus.
Operation successful. Patient tranquil and collaborative.
Oh, of course.
Motor coordination capacity reduced, but she's improving.
Oh yeah, of course, you know.
Transferred to the tranquil department in the care of Dr. B.
What else are you gonna do? Seriously.
25th of October. Continues to talk about Amara and her doll, Charlotte. The disturbances of motor capacity show slight signs of improvement. Difficulty walking, not capable of riding, and the nurses report that they have to help her dress, wash, and feed herself.
What do you expect? Seriously.
In the summer of 1944, Renee was transferred back into my department. Aware of little, indifferent, hardly ever spoke. One day, she said, "When I find the courage to look at myself in the mirror, I see a young face which is aged and looks at me full of fear."
I'm not even surprised, to be honest. Tragically.
She is a woman now who has changed profoundly compared to the girl that I had under my care several years ago.
No shit.
Only the sadness of her gaze and her intelligence are unchanged. She's so young, just 23 years old,
Wow.
but is lacking all vitality.
Oh my
Perhaps her
god.
condition may improve, but probably not. Her life has been thrown away. And nobody did a thing to try to avoid this.
So here you live upon
Jesus.
my mind, I wish you heard that my
So they pull a
mind is trying to
lobotomy on her, transorbital lobotomy, and it basically destroys her mind. And it's like, yeah, okay, we're done. We don't need to care anymore. We'll just put her into care. You know, she can't do anything for herself, but at least she's alive. What kind of bloody treatment's that? And it all could have been fixed when she was a kid. Bloody hell.
We're growing, so we'll have close when
Wow.
looking for ourselves.
Told you confronting, didn't I?
Time is endless, it could
This
take
stuff happened. You know, this is the pure shock element of this stuff actually happened. And worse.
We'll find you,
And that's sometimes always considered the better.
find you.
People were at least maybe back in society where family could care for them, but
I will
didn't matter.
find you.
My god.
I will find you. I will find you.
Well, despite all the creepiness and all, you know, the you know, darkness and mystery and all that sort of stuff, I actually enjoyed it. Because I think it sheds a very rare light on what happens, what happened, what people went through. You know, the lack of empathy or, you know, the restraints on the system, but the people who are there who can't do anything because they're told otherwise, or what actually happens there, the practices, the inhumane, illegitimate practices that happen, and nothing's done about it. This is back then, you know, no care in the world, and why people are administered when so much could have been done beforehand. They didn't have to be administered because no one knew what to ask or knew what to do because they couldn't see the signs or didn't know how to. You know, yeah, unbelievable. It was good that we found the diary on Reddit. Well, got it read to us. I really am happy about that because it sheds the light. Yeah, though. I'm glad I played through this because I wanted it. You know, it's one of those things where people with disabilities and mental and as neurological conditions and all that sort of thing, they're misunderstood all the time. It's been that way for decades, if not a couple of centuries. You know, it really has been. And I explained how autism and all that from schizophrenia and all that. So it was around the time there was around early 1920s. So so it was roughly somewhere between 1922 and 1924. I mean, this is subject to a bit of contradiction because of the rough times. It was never truly recorded globally because no one believed in it because they didn't think it was possible. An Austrian psychologist called Hans Asperger, or Hans Asperger, Asperger's, depending on how you want to pronounce it and whereabouts in the world you are, realized that people who are schizophrenic actually had a higher level of intelligence. They were creative, logical, literal, creative, and they weren't overly prone to those schizophrenic symptoms as frequently. They were they were very, when they were calm and doing their own thing, they were very, very calm, very objective, didn't harm anyone. It's only when you place them in situational stress then that it changed them. With schizophrenia, I believe, more of a tendency to be more frequent in exhibiting the traits and characteristics. So whether it's for people who are autistic on the autistic spectrum, it is if you put them under a really stressful situation, or when they're anxious, or and I mean like angry or depressed. Part of having autism means you have what's called heightened emotional sensitivity. So in a sense, what we all perceive to be just a normal emotional reaction, for us, it's timed anything from times 2 to times 10 in the way that we react. And it can be very violent if people don't know how to deal with it or what to do. So sometimes the best issue is just to leave those people, just give them as much space they have, and only confront them if you've got like 30-40 years experience dealing with it, or if you're a family member or a close and dear friend to that person and an emotional situation. Take care, keep a calm voice, just be polite and just ask them. It doesn't hurt because they know, and reassure them. Make sure they know they're not alone, but don't be forceful, and just be polite, calm, and give them their space. That's the best thing to do. But as I said, look, when that came through and he realized that they were different, he started doing studies. And as far as I know, it was either, I believe it was in Europe or might have been America. I'm not 100% sure. But in 1926 was when the first person was diagnosed with Asperger's by Hans Asperger. And there was this whole thing where no one really believed that such a thing was possible. I thought, oh yeah, everyone's got, no one had, this is just an isolated thing. It wasn't until 1928 where people actually started realizing, oh, not everyone is that way. And they started going through, like, it took a long time for people to accept. They thought, oh, no, these people are just schizophrenic, they're just this or just that. Like, they didn't want to believe it because they didn't see any hard evidence. So it wasn't until like the early 30s, where I think it's like 1932 actually, or something like that, around that time, when people actually started getting diagnosed with ASD, autism, or actually the long name, autism spectrum disorder. And it took a long time for things to people to realize what the hell was going on, or even learn about it. And even then, I think it was not until 1938 when, or 1936 or 1938 when, there was actually, excuse me, it was the first diagnostic, you might call it, system was released. So the diagnostic spectrum machine, and it was the first one, so DSM-1. And there's incredible, because there's been 5 since then, and from one who has it, I'm telling you right now, don't even pay any attention to the DSM-5. It is a load of crocking bullshit. The best, if you're going to go by any diagnostic spectrum machine, the DSMs, go by the DSM-3. It is the most accurate, and I promise you that I'm not just speaking for myself, because I've seen psychologists in my life, and I've taught them. They've come and said to me things that I've said, no, hang on a minute, what are you talking about? I've actually taught psychologists, and I was their client, and I'm teaching them. That's how unbelievable. And these people have got 15, 20 plus years in the industry, and I'm no more than them, and I'm teaching them. I was diagnosed at 7, and I'm almost 30 now. I spent half my life reading and learning about it. Even I am not the greatest expert, but I'm a greater expert than some psychologists I've met in my life, I'm telling you. And look, there are members of my family who are actually psychologists, and I've asked them, I've told them that the DSM-5 is bullshit and the DSM-3, and they agree with me. They laugh and say, yeah, you're correct, absolutely. And you're asking me why is the DSM-5? So the DSM-3 had things like Asperger's, HFA, aka high functioning autism, ASD, autism spectrum disorder, and LFA, low functioning autism, right? You might call them base disabilities if you like, because things like OCD, ADHD, PDD, those sorts of things, they were as much disabilities in their own right, but they're also characteristics and traits of people who had baseline disabilities. So they were cancelling that. So, but the DSM-5, according to the DSM-5, Asperger's, high functioning autism, and some types of low functioning autism, believe it or not, do not, according to the medical guidelines, they do not exist. Asperger's, as it stands, does not exist according to the DSM-5. How absolute bullshit is that? So essentially, if you went and told, like, even if it's in the system, if someone actually opened up the book on the registry and actually had to confirm it, let's hope you don't have to get re-diagnosed. Because that is absolute bullshit. That's saying that Hans Asperger work did nothing. And I think that's ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. That's, seriously. Hans Asperger opened up a whole new world, because a lot of people who have autism or things like that, they, you know, they don't get to understand who they are, and it affects the type of person they become. It really does. Because if we were to become emotional, we'd be labeled as schizophrenic. And that changes the entire way we're treated. You know? Yes, we both see the world in a different way. But it's the frequency and sometimes the degree. You know, I mean, a lot of people who are autistic, you wouldn't know unless you asked them. With schizophrenia, it's a little bit more obvious. You know, people with ADHD or OCD, it's a bit more obvious. You know, when you come to certain situations, but you know, we've learned to blend ourselves into society. Now, what makes it even more damning is about these sorts of things is that you're probably thinking, so, okay, that's a great, okay, so how does that make it such a big overdeal? Well, until 1985, no research was ever, no, you know, when I say official, like, you know, people say, oh, this is something we need to actually look at, right? And they were doing things in all sorts of mental conditions and all this sort of thing, right? And, you know, but no one paid any attention to autism. They didn't even think it was worth it. And the most incriminating factor about this is that during this time, people on the spectrum who were depressed and had mass anxiety, and there was no help for them, no support because no one understood them, they took their own lives. You're talking about anything from 10 to 25%, depending on the years. That's a lot of people. You're talking the hundreds of thousands to the tens of millions. Those numbers really start to add up, but the world didn't even care because they just thought it was some mental thing. They didn't realize it. Until around 1985, the world when there's been enough deaths, essentially, the people started, oh my god, we actually need to do something. By then it's already too late. It's been a constant game of catch-up. Even schizophrenia. We know more about schizophrenia than we do about autism. How's that for truly damning? You know, and we talk about being misunderstood, right? And for me personally, and you know, in my opinion anyway, cancer was found around the 50s and they straight away look for a cure. But other people committing suicide and they don't care? That's not on for me. Before you start saying, oh yes, what do you got against cancer? I have had multiple family members that have suffered from cancer and thankfully fully recovered. Seriously, both my parents, I've had family members that have had cancer. at least once, if not two, if not three times, but they've recovered. So don't turn the finger at me and say, you don't understand what it's like. Believe me, I do. I've been to the treatments with some of my family members have been. I've been to their treatments when they've had cancer. So I understand what it's like. I do. You know, seeing it happen, seeing them go through and seeing them recover. I've been there and seen it. I feel very empathetic towards those people who have cancer. I truly feel sorry for them. But for people who are misunderstood, you can make the same justification on different grounds. I'm just saying that. Look, when it comes to these sorts of things, you know, people who would be like, because schizophrenic people like this, even people who are on the spectrum, all this, they also got treated the same type of way. Electroshock therapy to deal with that sort of thing is just no excuse. You don't do that. There are better ways. Long-term counseling, even, you know, neurosuppressant drugs. There actually are stuff that exists, but they didn't even care. It's like, no, we haven't got time to wait. We need this treatment. We need to stop this now. Because they didn't understand. They needed the most effective way to deal with it, and they thought, this is the best, not necessarily most cost effective, but it works. Even if it harms the patient, we get people into resus. We have to take care of them. At least we can provide care for them, but we don't have to deal with them screaming and put up with them. Oh, that's my opinion on that. But from a lot of patients and a lot of family from people who have family or friends or whatever, or know people that have been patients and they've seen the way they've gone through a dramatic downfall and changed, if not completely as changed as a person, they'll think, well, there's a lot of shit that goes on that no one knows about. And I think this game really highlights that in a really awesome way. You know, it shows the real confronting truths, the downfalls, and what happens when you get in there. The lack of choice, the lack of options you have, what you're told, what you're forced to do. You know, I mean, you could almost argue that apart from, you know, the crime and all that sort of stuff, and the fights that maybe happen, you could almost argue that prisoners get better treatment. Like, they get meals. They don't get suffocated inside their cells. At least some of them get on. In these asylums, you're insane. Those people who have lost their minds are going now a 24/7 non-stop. That's assuming they're not going to electroshock therapy to make things even worse. We don't see criminals in prison going through that, do we? I'm just saying, it's like a highlight, just like a point of view, like a perspective of, you know, like the drastic comparison, you know, because it was essentially a prison for those patients. So, who's got the better deal? You know, I mean, we put people away for being legitimate criminals, yet we put people away who have just had a really bad, really hard life. Yet who's getting the worst treatment? Just saying. Like I said, it's my opinion, but I'm just saying, you know, it's confronting but very informative, you know, and I really appreciate that, and I really think that's a fantastic thing. Look, it's a great game. It's still short, but there's a lot you can learn and take from it. Name is a great metaphor for the way it's, you know, like, it's the way we're going to go in, hopefully see the light, recover. 95% of the time, doesn't happen. Love the metaphor they've used for that. That's assuming it is, you know. It's look, highlights a new area which we should pay more attention to, in my opinion. It really does. I know it's a short game, but I really felt that attachment to it, and that, like, it tugged at my heartstrings, and I wanted to bring you a lot to it, you know, and share some experience, share some thoughts, share some facts, because I thought it was only appropriate with this sort of game. Yeah, I don't get to talk about it nearly often as I'd like, because there's not enough games like this around. So, and it's very confronting, very visually stimulating in that specific regard. It really makes you realize certain things. I think that's awesome. So, anyway, we're going to end it here. I appreciate taking time to watch this with me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for all support you show on this series. Much appreciated. And I will see you next time for a brand new Let's Play. Take care, everyone.